It's only 22 degrees, but it's like 95% humidity. I'm going to record this clip first. I don't know what order it's going to show up in the video, but we're forecast for thunder showers this afternoon, so I want to get this done. So last year I redid both of these beds, and what I didn't do is put a good layer of organic mulch right over the top before I replanted the strawberries, and that may be one reason why they didn't do as well with the weather whiplashing that we had this year. You see, all this mineral soil showing like this. This bed is really high in organic matter. You can see if I give you a close-up, but still I've got a lot of mineral soil showing on top, and that'll dry out so quickly. I had thought to dig up, like take up the strawberries on half the bed, put them back over there, put a layer of mulch down, and then replant the strawberries. But I want to try something else. I think it's not crowded in yet. The stuff that I took from the chicken tractor, it was so super dry, and when I put it through the sifter, it turned out it was just like a dry powder. So I got some stuff that was wet in the hen house and mixed it together, and now I have a fairly good mulch that I can lay out. Now if I wanted to have just 2 rows of strawberries, I could put meadow clipping mulch on either side of the 2 rows. But what I'm trying to do is have my 3 foot by 10 foot bed and have the strawberries as a ground cover right over the entire thing. Strawberries, I found out the hard way that those runners, they need to touch down on something that they can root into, or they won't send down roots. So I need to have just a fine organic mulch to put on top, which is of course why I got this. Peat moss won't work, meadow clippings, grass clippings, any of that. Strawberries goes over the top, they won't root in. So what I'm going to try to do is take this, and I'm worried if I bury up some of the really small stuff, and just lay it out around all the strawberries. Of course I'll knock the stuff off the leaves after I get it laid out around and see how far I go. Shadow in the way, but can't avoid that now, weeding as I go. a strawberry in here. Garden snack. I'm just eating the strawberries as garden snacks now because for this year I won't get enough worth keeping anyway. Oh, somebody started to eat him. He's not even quite ripe. This will be my 6th strawberry this morning. But for the most part, it's not going that way. Now that's better. It's not a thick layer of organic mulch, but it is a layer, and that will greatly reduce the evaporation from the soil. Just having that pure organic layer over the top of any mineral soil. Don't know if I've used half of it, and I got that bed pretty much done. I'm going to start on this bed now and see what happens. This bed has been so hard to clean out. Especially with respect to the clover. Phew, I'm happy with that. Like I said, I intended to just do half of that bed, but now I've got all this bed done, and I've got over half of this bed. Right down up here, see, I've got it down on both sides. So I might look up some more compost to put here, but I'm happy with what I got done, so this is wonderful. The thing about having a meadow that you mow, See, I have certain areas mowed here, and technically I should have it all mowed, because around your house, and this year everybody almost all over the world is finding out that you need a fire break. So an area of mowed or very low vegetation around the house will reduce the chances that your house will go up in flame in the event of a wildfire. Just a monoculture of grass is what most people have for what they call their lawn, which from a permaculture point of view is rather kind of ridiculous. If you have a series of native plants, they stay green much longer in the event of a drought than the commercial grasses that you buy. But that's not the only thing. You see, what I have here, this is what I call it, meadow clippings, right? You have clover and dandelion. I don't remember what the name of that one is. But there's plantain, sweet william, mallow, and various others all throughout here. And so when I take my battery operated mower with a bare bag to catch the clippings, two 20-volt batteries, I can charge this easy enough with a solar panel. And it has proven to be quite effective in even cutting this overgrown stuff. I mow this up, catches the clippings in the bag, I bring them to an area that I need mulched, and spread it out there. It's not chop and drop, it's chop, move and drop. You see, this is what I have done here. I mowed some of the meadow, and I brought it there and surrounded each of the plants with a good layer of meadow clippings. If you were to put just a mass of these meadow clippings in your compost bin, you'd have an impermeable mat. It's one of the reasons why you turn your compost bin and you try to put in thin layers of different types of material. But there is an advantage to that. You see, if you put a thick layer around the base of a tree like this, it keeps the other vegetation down. And now I could just have spots in here where I moved mulch back and plant a perennial, and then I've pretty much eliminated all the other grass and vegetation, and only the plant that I wanted to grow there would grow. That is something I have to continue doing. I'm starting at some of the other trees. See, I didn't get much on that one, but I've got a good layer around the base of that tree. Got to put some more around underneath that one, and some more around this one. And then, if you're trying to start a new bed, and this is essentially what I did here. I'd done it quite a bit in under this red maple, and there's kelp down there, and clippings, and more kelp, and clippings again, which is keeping down all of this stuff from growing in here. And all along this fence, 6 years ago apparently, that I initially tried to do something with this fence, along this fence, and then, well, I was doing other things and I never actually got to really do anything with this. But I did a few times put clippings along here, and that's why the stuff that's growing here is not growing as well as it is a foot either side of the fence. And that's what I need to do now today, is do some more mowing and put some more meadow clippings along by this fence and around some of the trees. There, now I have a full bag, and if I had lower plants growing there, I would have to be careful how much I want to put on here. But like I said, this can act as a smothering mat, and there's some stinging nettles and other things there, so I'm just going to bury them in a good layer like that, and hopefully that smothers them out. Now I have a small columbine here, so before I put the mulch down there, I have to do a bit of weeding. Dump out my bag of clippings. And then put it around. I don't want to bury up my columbine. I'll just push the rest of that back up there. I ran out of battery power in the mower. You get the idea. I put this on quite thick, and it wasn't a full charge in the mower, so that's why I ran out. And I will have to wait for another dry day now to do some more. That's the second columbine that actually grew any since this year, and that's as far as I got. Just settle down now and smother anything that's underneath. A little bit of wind there, you might get a bit of noise in the mic. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to make a video of that now, and hope you found it interesting. Leave a comment, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.